Thank you. We are on the record at 9:23 a.m. Central Standard Time. Good morning. My name is Andrea Bielke. I am the session manager assigned by Prevail to support this proceeding. Also present is Mr. Jason Corella of Prevail for quality control and/or training purposes. Today's notary who has verified the identity of the witness is Anna Torres, and she will swear in the witness. This is the deposition of Chief Valenciano taking the matter of Christopher Grisham and James Everett versus Rene Valenciano, J. Lopez, Hector Ruiz, A. Vieira, in the city of Olmos Park, case number SA:20-CV-00387-OLG at 9:24 a.m. Central Standard Time on October 13th, 2021. And I'm sorry, Mr. Valenciano, what city and state are you located in?
San Antonio, Texas.
And what county is that?
Bear.
Thank you. So in San Antonio, Texas, Bexar County. Additionally, all parties and the witness understand and agree that the proceeding is being recorded audio-visually using the Prevail Testimony Management Platform. The platform is also producing an instant rough virtual transcription utilizing artificial intelligence speech-to-text technology. This virtual transcription is not the record of the proceeding. It is provided for the purpose of augmenting counsel's notes and assisting in the location of testimony in the audio-visual recording of this deposition proceeding. The official written record of the proceeding will be the certified transcript if one is created. Until a certified transcript is created, citations to testimony from this session should be to the video timestamp in Central Standard Time. At this time, I would ask counsel from each side to introduce themselves, state who they represent, and announce any individuals joining them in the session, beginning with Mr. Grable.
Good morning. Brandon Grable and Austin Reyna are present, and we represent the plaintiffs in this matter, C.J. Grissom and James Everard. Also present today from my office is Carolyn Stritsky, Joelle Thomas, and Margaret White.
Thank you. And Mr. Ruiz?
Yes, my name is Adolfo Ruiz for the firm of Det Navarro, Rocha, Bernal, and Zek. I'm here appearing for the defendants, all the defendants, City of Olmos Park, Chief Valenciano, Sergeant Ruiz, Officer Lopez, and Officer Vieira. From my firm is Pat Bernal, who will be just listening, but I'm the one who will be doing the objections or handling the deposition. Our paralegal, Renee Williams, will also be, monitoring or listening, especially this new format, which is pretty interesting, but those are the people from my office.
Thank you. And at this time, the notary will now swear in the deponent.
Mr. Valenciano, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give today in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down.
Thank you. And counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you. And just as a preliminary matter, Mr. Ruiz and I agreed or are stipulating on the record that to permit the use of the objective form button on the record. Adolfo, is that correct?
Yes, but I'd like to, because old habits are hard to break. I don't have a clicker for this laptop. So I have to kind of have my finger on the button all the time. It won't be convenient. So I'd like to use either one, objective form, and then press a button because I have to get used to that as well. So either way, object or button, I agree to that.
No, I'm on the same page with that. Thank you. Chief Valenciano, this is our second time doing a deposition. And so what have, in preparation for today, what have you reviewed?
I reviewed the date, the time, and the PowerPoint that was submitted to you.
Okay, which PowerPoint?
You could show them on the screen.
Okay.
Is it, to clarify, is it the 16-page PowerPoint, or is it something that we've referred to throughout this litigation as the 160-page PowerPoint?
16-page PowerPoint.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to publish that PowerPoint for you to view. It's labeled and presented by your counsel as presentation 1.pptx, and for this deposition, I'll mark it as plaintiff's exhibit 1.
Brandon, for the record, the chief also has a color copy that's of that 16-page PowerPoint that does not have the Bates stamp number or the classified information on top. It's the same thing, but just a color copy.
Okay. And so, Chief, are you able to see the PowerPoint on your screen?
I am.
Okay. So slide 1, and I'll represent to you that this is the actual native format that was produced to us, so I don't think it's actually Bates labeled. But when I look at slide 1 here, it says created by Rene Valenciano. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall when you would have created exhibit number 1?
I do not.
Okay. I'm going to show you I'm going to label as exhibit 2 what was filed in this cause at docket 44-1 exhibit A, which is when our office looked at the metadata or the information of this PowerPoint. I'm going to go to page 3 of plaintiff's exhibit 2 for the deposition, and you see the screenshot. Do you see the screenshot on the page 3?
It says exhibit A. Is that what you're showing me?
Yes. Can you go to, can you scroll down on the screen to the last page of this exhibit?
You said to the last page, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's the last page. Yeah.
So do you see are you on the last page?
The one where it says properties?
Yeah,
Page
correct.
3 of 3? Yes, sir. I'm on it, sir.
So this, I'll represent to you that this is a screenshot of the information that was pulled from the PowerPoint. Do you see the date timestamp when the PowerPoint would have been created?
Yes, I see where it says related dates.
Yes. What is the date, the created date?
The created date, it identifies it as February the 16th, 2018.
Okay. Would that, do you have any reason to doubt that the PowerPoint would have initially been created February 16, 2018?
I do not.
Okay. And it says that the author of the document is Kendra Munoz, and that's
Right.
Kyndra.
Yes.
Who is Kendra Munoz?
Kendra Munoz at the time was my administrative assistant.
Okay, you said at the time, is she currently employed with Olmos Park?
Yes.
Okay, what is her current role?
City secretary.
Okay, so she's no longer at your office?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall having her assist you creating Plaintiff's Exhibit 1 of this deposition?
But what you mean created was the PowerPoint? Is that what you're referring to?
Correct. And when I say Exhibit 1, I'm referring to the 16-page PowerPoint.
Yes, she created a blank template of the PowerPoint. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and then would she have then emailed that to you or put it in some kind of file share?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Plaintiff's Exhibit 1 of this deposition. And just to clarify, when I say Plaintiff's Exhibit 1 or Exhibit 1, I'm referring to the 16-page PowerPoint, okay?
Understood.
All right, so I'm looking at, so when we look at the first slide here, it says Olmos Park Police Department created by Rene Valenciano. Is it fair to say then that you were the only one to create this PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, who else would have helped you?
Just me.
Okay, and so what did Ms. Munoz assist with in this PowerPoint?
She created a blank template of the PowerPoint. So just a template.
Okay, so did she just open a blank PowerPoint and then save it and send it to you, or did she put any content on it?
I believe she just put the symbol, the patch of the Olmos Park, and then the wording Olmos Park Police Department, and then the color blue. Because I believe
Okay.
you can put different colors on the PowerPoint.
Okay, and what was the purpose of you wanting to create this PowerPoint?
The purpose was to be able to document and create a timeline of events.
A timeline of, and then, excuse me. So what is the AAPCA?
That's the Alamo Area Police Chiefs Association.
Okay, and you were supposed to give a some kind of presentation to that association on March 1st, 2018, correct?
I don't remember the exact date, but yes.
Okay, and how did you become aware that you had to give a presentation to that association?
I didn't have to give a presentation. I offered the presentation, the information to other law enforcement agencies.
Okay, and so would that have been before or after you started creating this PowerPoint?
Can you rephrase the question? I don't understand your question.
Sure. So you created this PowerPoint or had this PowerPoint created in February of 2018, correct?
I don't remember the exact date, but based on the information that you told me on the metadata, yes.
So did you create the PowerPoint in response to offering to give a brief to that association, or did you create the PowerPoint and then offer to give the presentation to the association?
I created the PowerPoint and then offered to give the presentation.
Okay. So what was the purpose then for creating the 16-page PowerPoint in February of 2018?
To document a timeline of the events.
When you say the events, what do you mean?
The events that are contained in the 16-page PowerPoint.
Okay, so you just decided one day that you wanted to timeline some events in a PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. Is that something you you regularly do?
I have, yes, sir.
Okay. And so if we go to page 2 of the PowerPoint of Exhibit 1, what are the first words on this slide?
Probably the patch on the left-hand side, it says police, Olmos Park, Texas, and then Olmos Park Police Department.
I'm talking about slide 2. Can you go to slide 2
Okay.
of Exhibit 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll down real quick. Okay.
What are the first words on this slide?
Killing of police officers.
Okay, so the first slide that you wanted to present, other than the title page, was the killing of police officers, correct?
Yes.
Why is that?
That's something that in law enforcement we routinely monitor is officers killed by gunfire.
Okay, and so you started putting together this presentation before offering to present it at the AAPCA.
Correct.
Okay. Did you have any assistance from anyone at your office in gathering the data that is on slide 2 of Exhibit 1?
No.
Okay, so when I'm looking at slide 2 here, it says gunfire 12 for 2018. Do you see that?
I do.
Where did you get that information?
I don't recall the exact place that I gathered the information from.
Okay, and are you confident that you would not have asked anyone at Olmos Park Police Department to assist you in gathering this information?
I am.
All right, and then front and center, it looks like, or not front and center, but the biggest image of this slide is Nicholas Cruz. Do you see that?
I do.
Why is Nicholas Cruz emphasized on this slide?
He's the Parkland, Florida mass shooter.
Okay, and do you recall exactly when the Nicholas Cruz incident had occurred?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was in 2017, I believe.
Okay, and so were you presenting? Well, let me back up. So you wanted to create a PowerPoint in February of 2018 before offering to present it to the association, correct?
Correct.
But you were not creating this PowerPoint to provide it to Olmos Park or Olmos Park Police Department officers?
Correct.
Okay, so at the time you're putting this slide together, what was your intended purpose?
The intended purpose was to create a chronological order of the events.
Okay, and was this just for you or was it for someone else?
For me.
Okay, and so you wanted to just create a PowerPoint that was just for you, correct?
Yes.
When did you get the idea that maybe you wanted to present this to the APPCA?
I don't recall an exact date.
Okay, do you know if this would have been because you were discussing it with the other members of this association?
I don't recall if I talked to other persons of the association or not.
Okay. Are there other officers with the Olmos Park Police Department that are members of the association?
Just me.
Okay. All right. It looks like also on this slide, is that an image under the data? Is that an image from the Las Vegas shooting?
It is.
Okay. All right. Can you now go to scroll down to slide 3 of Exhibit 1?
I'm there, sir.
Okay. And this slide is about an individual by the name of Jack Edward Miller, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Who is Jack Edward Miller?
The person on slide number 3.
Okay. Is Jack Edward Miller, in your opinion, a murderer?
No.
Okay, so why, following the slide 2, where there's data on killing of police officers, why does the next slide portray Jack Edward Miller?
It's just where I placed them in the PowerPoint.
Okay, so you mentioned that this slide was to timeline events, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how does Jack Edward Miller fall into you timelining events of killing of police officers?
I'm not sure I understand your question. Can you rephrase your question?
Sure. What was the purpose of you creating this 16-page PowerPoint?
To have a list of events that have taken place.
Okay, so why is Jack Edward Miller's profile or information in a slideshow concerning events that have taken place?
Because we had already a couple of contacts with Jack Edward Miller.
Okay, so on slide 3 of Exhibit 1, it looks like that there is a list of, I guess, charges. Is that what you would call this?
I would call it just a list of, I think it's clear on there where it talks about arrests and misdemeanors.
Okay, so I see arrested February 2018. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so was he arrested by Olmos Park Police Department on February 2018?
I don't remember if he was arrested or if he was detained, but on the PowerPoint it says arrested.
Okay, where would you have gotten that information?
From our files.
Okay, did you get that information or did you ask someone else to get that information for you?
I retrieved my own information.
And did you type, I guess, the information onto the PowerPoint slide?
Yes.
So the initial PowerPoint, or I guess the PowerPoint was created according to the metadata by Ms. Munoz on February 16, 2018, but there's information on this slide indicating that Jack Miller was arrested February 20, 2018. So is it possible that you went in and added information on Jack Miller later?
I don't honestly recall. It's been too long. I don't recall when I entered information exactly. So I don't recall.
So it looks like all the other information on this particular slide have dates that predate 2018, correct? Absent the arrest.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. So would you have added? Is it possible you would have added the lettering that's in red at another time?
I don't recall if I did or when I did it, sir.
Okay, were you monitoring Jack Edward Miller prior to February 2018?
I don't recall if I was monitoring prior to that date.
Okay, and then all of these, like all the lettering on this slide that's in green, that lists all of these dates and offenses, were all of these offenses in Olmos Park?
No, sir.
Are any of these offenses on slide 3 of Exhibit 1 in Olmos Park?
Yes.
Which offenses on slide 3 occurred within Olmos Park?
I'd have to go back and look at the record, so I don't know which one just by looking at that.
Okay, so like when I see a list of Class C misdemeanors, how would you get access of all the Class C misdemeanors that Jack Miller was charged with?
I don't recall exactly where I extracted the information from.
Okay, and it looks like a lot of actually all of the Class C misdemeanors on this page indicate that they were all dismissed, correct?
Yes, sir, correct.
How did you get information, or how do you normally get information about a Class C misdemeanor being closed or dismissed?
Through a court record, usually.
Okay, so would you have had to have gone to the particular case file to see what the disposition was?
I'm not sure how I extracted the information, but a lot of the times that's the way that we obtain information.
Okay, if you needed to know about the disposition of a particular Class C misdemeanor in a different jurisdiction, would you get that information yourself, or would you have someone help you?
No, I'll get it myself.
Okay. So looking at this slide, we don't necessarily know where these Class C misdemeanors would have occurred, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then I see here, so the text in red says he was arrested February 2018, but you can't recall where he would have been arrested?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then it says it was for criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. You see that?
I do.
What was the disposition of this charge?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. But you presented this slide, correct, to the to the association? I'm messing it up.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. And so you presented this particular slide on Jack Miller to the AAPCA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how many people do you think you would have presented this particular slide to?
I don't have a number, sir. I don't recall.
And the people you would have presented it to, well, let me ask this. The AAPCA, who are the members of the AAPCA generally?
Other police chiefs.
Are they police chiefs around Texas, or could they be from anywhere?
They're usually around from Bexar County.
Okay, and could members of this association also be state officials or state law enforcement?
Yes.
Could they also be federal law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay, so for example, the former chief of police of Leon Valley, Chief Salvaggio, was he also a member of the AAPCA?
Yes.
Okay, and so when you presented this particular slide to the AAPCA, you were presenting information to state, federal, and local law enforcement agencies within Texas, correct?
I don't recall who was present, but yes, typically there are chiefs at different local level, state level, and federal. Yes.
And this also includes law enforcement representatives from the FBI, correct?
It can, yes.
And also from Secret Service?
It can, yes.
Okay. So slide 3 of this exhibit here has presumably a mugshot of Jack Miller. Is that what it is?
It's a driver's license photo.
Okay, how would you have pulled the driver's license photo?
What do you mean by pull it? Where I obtained the information from?
Correct.
From our database.
Okay, so you have access to a database to pull driver's license photos?
Yes.
Okay, do you need a official law enforcement purpose to be able to do that?
Yes.
Okay, and so what was, when you were pulling Jack Miller's driver's license photo for this PowerPoint, what was the official law enforcement purpose?
To place the photo with the transcript that I have there with Mr. Miller.
Okay, what was the official law enforcement purpose for creating slide 3 of Exhibit 1?
To document the series of events that had taken place.
You keep saying the series of events that had taken place. I need you to be more specific. What series of events are you specifically referring to?
Our prior contact with Mr. Miller.
And what prior contact did you have specifically with Mr. Miller?
I'd have to go back and see the dates and the types of contacts that we've had with Mr. Miller.
Okay, but looking at this slide, you can't recall.
Correct.
Okay. Prior to 2018, were you familiar with Jack Miller?
Object as a form that's prior to March 27th, 2018.
You can answer, Chief.
I don't recall.
Okay. Prior to, or at the time you created this slide 3 of Exhibit 1, had you ever personally interacted with Jack Miller?
I don't recall.
Okay. So please scroll to slide 4 of Exhibit 1.
Okay.
What is on this slide?
Some wording and a photo.
So it looks like the first photo, is that a screenshot of a Facebook post?
It's a screenshot. I don't remember where it's from.
There's some information on top there. It says AT&T. In 2018, did you have a device with AT&T?
Did I have a device with AT&T? Yes, sir.
Okay, would you have pulled the screenshot from your own device that's posted here on slide 4 of Exhibit 1?
No, sir.
Okay, who would have provided you with the screenshot of this Jack Miller post?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, so looking at this first image here on slide 4 of Exhibit 1, you can't tell what social media platform that would have been on?
No, sir.
Okay. Were you monitoring the social media platforms belonging to Jack Miller?
I don't recall if I was monitoring.
Okay. And so this slide, though, has a post by Jack Miller, correct?
Yes.
What was the purpose of including this post from Jack Miller?
To document the series of events.
But you did not go and pull this post from Jack Miller, correct?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, so you see the top there. It says the top of the image. It says AT&T LTE 11:02 p.m. Do you see that?
I do.
Were you don't recall if you were screenshotting postings by Jack Miller at 11:02 p.m.?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, 11:02 p.m. That's at night, right?
Correct.
Do you normally scour social media postings at 11:02 p.m.
Objection form.
for law enforcement purposes?
Objection form.
Can you clarify your question?
Yeah, what if you did not get this Jack Miller post, who would it have come from?
I don't recall, sir.
How are you briefing slide 4 to the association?
I don't understand your question.
So you briefed this slide to local, state, and federal law enforcement agency representatives in 2018, correct?
I don't recall who was present when I presented the PowerPoint.
But you presented the slide, right?
Correct.
What was the purpose you were trying to convey with presenting this slide?
To document the series of events and to pass it out to other law enforcement entities.
Okay, but you can't recall where you would have gotten this Facebook posting.
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. As a matter of fact, you don't even know if this particular post is on Facebook, right?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, and then the second image on slide 4 of Exhibit 1, where did this come from?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, so you don't recall where the information come from. Does that mean it's possible it could have come from an unidentified individual?
I mean, anything is possible. I just don't recall where I retrieved the information from.
Okay, so when you say that you would have gathered all the information yourself, then it sounds like based on your testimony, that's not necessarily correct.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, so I mean, you can't have it both ways, right? You have a social media posting by Jack Miller that's on this slide. I understand that you would have been the one, according to your testimony, to put that image on this slide, correct?
Correct.
Objection form.
But where would you have gotten the image itself? Would that have come from you, or would that have possibly come from someone else?
Again, anything is possible, but I don't recall where I got the information from.
So you could have gotten information from someone other than your own investigation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then, so for example, if someone sent you a screenshot of this posting, you could have then taken that screenshot and put it on this slide?
Again, anything is possible, but I don't recall where I was able to get the information from.
Okay. Have you ever looked at Jack Miller's Facebook page?
I have.
Okay. Do you know if you would have looked at his Facebook page in February of 2018?
I don't recall.
Who would have helped you collect information in February of 2018 on Jack Miller?
All the information that's contained in the PowerPoint, I placed in there. So I don't recall who else might have helped with the information.
Okay, would you have asked Olmos Park Police Department officers to help you gather information that you would have then used in the PowerPoint?
No.
Okay. Would you have asked private citizens for information concerning Jack Miller that you would have then placed in the PowerPoint?
No.
Would you have asked other law enforcement agencies for information that you would have then placed in the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay. So then it's possible that it was either you or another law enforcement agency that would have screenshotted Jack Miller's Facebook post?
Yes.
Okay. Could it have been Miss Munoz that could have screenshotted this Facebook post?
No.
How about Officer Ruiz?
No.
But you can't recall if you would have done it.
Correct.
Okay, but is it fair to say that you would have at least remembered seeing this posting on Jack Miller's Facebook page?
I mean, I've seen it on the PowerPoint. I'm the one that placed it on the PowerPoint. Yes.
Okay, and what's significant about this Facebook post?
Significant in what ways?
We'll read the first line of it out loud.
You talking about his name, Jack Miller?
No, the first sentence of the post.
Where it starts with Olmos Park Police. Is that what you're referring to?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Olmos Park Police Department apparently will arrest anyone carrying a rifle in public.
Does that bother you?
No.
Okay. Do you know why Jack Miller would be posting that Olmos Park Police Department will apparently arrest anyone carrying a rifle in public?
I do not.
Are you aware at the time you made this PowerPoint and put this posting here that Jack Miller would have been arrested for carrying a rifle in public?
I don't recall, but it's possible.
Okay. And then the next sentence of this post, can you read that?
They say if anyone is alarmed by it, you have committed a crime.
Do you agree with that statement?
I don't agree with anything that's on the post.
Okay, so you don't. So it says if they say if anyone is alarmed by it, you have committed a crime. So you don't agree with that, correct?
I don't agree with anything that's on that particular slide.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm asking specifically about the statement. They say if anyone is alarmed by it, you have committed a crime.
Yes, sir. I don't agree with anything that's on that slide.
All right, I object to non-responsive. So if anyone in Olmos Park is alarmed by someone carrying a rifle in public, does that mean that the person carrying the rifle in public has committed a crime?
Objection just to form, we're talking about events on or prior to March 27th, 2018.
I'm talking about this post right here. It's on the post. I'm trying to get his opinion of it. I mean, we could go back to court and be here again if
No.
he hasn't won the answer.
Can we take a break real quick?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. So
We
where
are
do
off
we,
the record at 10:07 a.m. We are back on the record at 10:17 a.m.
All right, Chief. I'm looking at slide 4 of Exhibit 1. There's a post from Jack Miller here. We were talking about before the break. You see the sentence in there that starts with "I am"?
Yes.
Can you read that out loud, please?
I am organizing a mass open carry / protest in the next few months.
Okay, and that statement obviously concerned you to where you wanted to alert other law enforcement agencies, correct?
No, it's not correct.
Okay. But you were aware that Jack Miller disagreed with Olmos Park Police Department's policy of arresting anyone carrying a rifle in public, right?
I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, but you put his post in a slideshow that you then briefed to local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies across Texas, correct?
Again, I don't recall who was present at the meeting when I presented it, but yes, I did post Jack Miller's posting on the PowerPoint.
Okay, now scroll down. We're gonna skip past slide 5, skip past slide 6, 7, 8. So go to slide 9 of Exhibit 1.
It's not numbered on my end, so can you tell me which one?
Yeah, it's the one that's labeled current COV restricting ammunition in rifles and shotguns.
Okay, I got it. Yes, sir.
What is COV?
City ordinance violation.
Okay, and then it states in here, section 24-85. Do you see that?
I do.
Is that the City of Olmos Park's ordinance?
At that time, yes.
Okay, and actually that ordinance, is this the ordinance that ended up getting, I guess, struck by the City Council in March of 2018?
Objection
Yes.
form.
Okay. Now, I wanted to, okay, so prior to the slide on the current COV restricting ammunition, the couple of slides prior all contain slides of Jack Miller, correct?
Can I scroll back up so I can look at them?
Sure, yes.
Most of them.
Okay. All right, now I wanted to go back to the very covered front slide here,
The first page?
the very first page.
Okay.
All right, and you see here it says Olmos Park Police Department created by Rene Valenciano, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to show you a PowerPoint that the City of Olmos Park produced previously pursuant to an open records request, and I've labeled it 16-page pp.pptx.
I'm going to object to form because the court regarding the PowerPoint presentation that was produced in this case, and not by any other means. And I guess I'm objecting because I don't know where you're going with this, but just making
Sure.
limited objections if it involves anything outside the scope of this particular PowerPoint that is in exhibit, I guess exhibit 1 in this deposition.
Sure, and actually I'm going to label this as exhibit 3. Chief, are you aware that the court ordered defendants in this case to produce every native version of the PowerPoint that was created on or before March 27, 2018?
I do not.
Okay, so if I was able to obtain a version of a PowerPoint that was created on or before March 27, 2018, and did not receive it in production, you'd agree with me that's an issue, right?
Objection form instruct the witness not to answer.
On what basis?
On the basis of attorney-client privilege, and on the basis that it is you're asking for a legal theory or legal conclusion, and he's not an attorney. So based on those two instances.
And for the record, Aldolfo, you are aware that the court's order was for you to produce, or for your clients to produce, every version of the PowerPoint that existed on or before March 27, 2018, and that on those versions that I'm permitted to depose Chief Valenciano on. So I'm going to note that as well.
Okay, and so I guess for Plans Exhibit number 3, do you know what date that you obtained that?
I'm not sure what date I obtained it. I can find out.
So are you going to represent to the court that this was obtained prior to March 27th, 2018?
I can represent, and actually I think we did represent an ECF filing. Matter of fact, let's go to, real quick before we get to this, let's go to please publish exhibit number 2. All right, Chief, you see exhibit A here on exhibit 2?
Yes, it's a blank sheet with says Exhibit A.
All right, please scroll down to the second page. All right.
Yeah.
Who does it say that this slideshow was created by?
It's just created by Kendra Munoz.
Okay. And then page 3 shows the metadata, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So go, please publish exhibit number 3. All right, and you see on exhibit number 3, page 1, who does it say is created by?
I think, Adolfo, did you want me to continue with this?
Yeah, go, for the sake, because he only has 2 hours, and if he's representing that this was created before March 27th, 2018, yes, go ahead and answer the questions. If we have an objection, we'll take it up to the court. But for time's sake, yes, just go ahead and answer for exhibit number 3.
I'm going to object to the sidebar and the continuing interrupting of my deposition. So Chief, who was this exhibit 3? Who does it say it was created by?
It says created by Kendra Munoz.
Okay, and I'll represent to you and you can check. Exhibit 3 is 16 slides, correct?
I don't know this. It's not numbered here, so.
Yeah, when you go down to the bottom, it'll tell you what the page numbers are.
It does not, oh yeah, 16. It says 16 at the bottom, yes.
Okay, so, and you have a copy of the PowerPoint in front of you, correct? A physical copy?
Yes, I do.
Okay, the title page of the physical copy in front of you, does it say Kendra Munoz or does it say Rene Valenciano?
Rene Valenciano.
Okay, so other than the title page where it says Kendra Munoz on exhibit 3 and the title page on exhibit 1, are you aware of any other changes between the two 16-page PowerPoint documents?
I don't recall, sir.
Okay, how many versions of this PowerPoint are in existence?
So the initial PowerPoint was created. It was a blank PowerPoint. Patch, Olmos Park Police Department, a blank template. I add to that template as needed.
Okay, so how on exhibit number 3 then was Kendra Munoz's name on a 16-page PowerPoint?
Because again, what Kendra Munoz did was a blank PowerPoint. I add to it as needed. So when I do my final version, it's on a blank template. I insert all the information into the PowerPoint.
Okay, so you added, okay, I guess that's what I'm trying to understand, right? So we have 16 pages in both Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 3, but a different title page, correct?
The page is the same, it's just where it says it was created, because she created a blank template.
So was the title page the last thing you would have changed on the 16-page PowerPoint?
I don't recall if it was the last one, but so everything contained in the PowerPoint, I inserted myself. With the exception of the very first page with the emblem and the Olmos Park Police Department.
Okay, do you know why the city of Olmos Park would have a copy of the PowerPoint with Kendra Munoz's name on it?
Objection form.
So the PowerPoint was created, the content in it was created by me. So yes, I would obviously have a copy on it, and I add it to it as needed.
Okay, so was the original version that you created, was it 16 pages or was it less?
The original PowerPoint was 16 pages.
Okay, and are you still adding to that PowerPoint today?
Objection form. Instruct not to answer only questions from March 27th, 2018 forward.
Chief, what is, in your opinion, what is an agitator?
Objection form. Instruct client not to answer. That reference,
All right.
I don't know if that
Right,
reference
I'm
is
gonna-
in the PowerPoint, so if you can reference it in the PowerPoint, then yes, he can answer, but I don't see any references in the PowerPoint.
There's a reference in the 160-page PowerPoint, and that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
Chief
this is-
Valenciano, do you recall briefing about agitators in a PowerPoint?
Objection, instruct not to answer. It's with regard to the PowerPoint before March 27th, 2018. And if you could reference where that word is referenced in the PowerPoint, then yes, he could answer that question.
All right, I'm going to end the deposition and then I'm going to ask for sanctions. I'm going to ask for you to incur the cost of this deposition if you're instructing him not to answer on a 160-page deposition that was relied upon by your expert. Is that what you're doing?
No, it's pursuant to the court order with regards to the PowerPoint presentation created on or before March 27th, 2018. That's simply following what the order says. And
So you'd agree that the order is clear then?
That's what the order says, March 27th, 2018. And I like to introduce the order itself as defendant's exhibit.
All right, it's not your time. It's not your time. You can set up your own deposition and introduce whatever you want, Aldolfo.
Okay, well then.
Not on my time.
Okay, but I'm
just
following the court's record. I understand, but I'm instructing my client not to answer that question. You can go on with other questions for that one.
Okay, I'm going to answer the questions for the record. So specifically, the court order said defendant Chief Rene Valenciano must be made available for a deposition lasting no longer than 2 hours regarding the produced PowerPoint files. And I'm going to show and mark for the record what has been produced by defendants, the documents Bates labeled DEFT 793 through 952. I'll go ahead and publish that right now as Exhibit 4.
I'm objecting to the exhibit. The order is clear that defendants must produce to plaintiffs all versions of the previously disclosed PowerPoint file that were created on March 27, 2018. Production of any such file must be made in the file's original electronic format. Thereafter, defendant Chief Rene Valenciano must be made available for depositions lasting no longer than 2 hours regarding the produced PowerPoint file.
Files. What I'm producing as Exhibit 4 is what was produced. It's a produced PowerPoint file. That is how it's labeled in your expert report. And so I am going to ask my questions. You can instruct your client not to answer, but I am going to ask my questions for the record, and we can come back here if necessary.
Well, ask your questions, and we'll proceed on that route if you want to, but I'm telling you what the court order says. So,
Chief Valenciano, page 1 of exhibit number 4, it says Olmos Park PD, March 27, 2018 incident. Do you see that?
I'm instructing my client not to answer due to the limitations on the scheduling order, docket number 48.
And you see here, it lists a number of exhibits, A through K. Do you see that?
Objection, instructing my client not to answer because it's not compliance with the court order, document 48.
All right, and exhibit A, which starts at DEFT 794 through DEFT 842. Do you know when this particular PowerPoint in that Bates range 794 through 842 would have been created?
Objection, form instructing my client not to answer. It's a violation of the court order, document number 48.
Okay, so even if this particular PowerPoint was created, you don't know when you're not even testifying when this PowerPoint was created then?
Objection, form instructing my client not to answer. It's a violation of the court order, document 48.
All right, Aldolfo, how do you know when this PowerPoint was created then? How do you know that? You're not allowing him to testify to it. So how do you know when this PowerPoint was created?
As he testified, the 16 pages were created before March 27th, 2018.
And I'm asking about the other pages from 795 through 842. I'm allowed to ask when these were created. And if he doesn't know, he doesn't know.
Well,
that's fine.
I don't have that in front of me because that wasn't a topic of discussion with regard to the other PowerPoint. But yeah, if it doesn't relate to the 16-page PowerPoint, then I'm going to instruct them not to answer. There may be some duplicates that are in the 160-page. They're the same, but according to the court order, it's a 16 pages created before March 27, 2018.
Sure. Aldolfo, you'd acknowledge too that that Exhibit 4, you did not produce. You only produced after Chief Valenciano was deposed, correct?
It's not you're not taking my deposition, Brandon. You know what the court said, and you know what the court.
Well, I know the court said I'm allowed a deposition on the produced PowerPoints. This was produced, so I'm allowed to ask about it. And if you're instructing him not to answer, I'll ask my questions, and then we'll get your objection. You can keep doing your objections. Chief Valenciano, on DEFT 795, you have a quote on here that says, "My profession dictates that I routinely confront the people that the average citizen fearfully crosses the street to avoid, then I must endure the criticism of the citizen as he judges my actions from afar." What do you mean by that?
Objection, form instruct client not to answer. It's a violation of the court order, document number 48.
And you also state on this slide, quote, when faced with certain defeat, at least make them earn it. What did you mean by that?
Objection form, instruct my client not to answer. There's a violation of Court Order 48.
Chief Valenciano, who did you present this version of the PowerPoint to?
Objection form goes beyond the court order document, page 48, and instruct my client not to answer.
From DEFT 819 to 821, you have slides concerning CJ Grissom. My question is, why are you labeling him as anti-government?
Objection form, violation of court order docket number 48. Instruct my client not to answer.
Who did you present information to concerning CJ Grissom and him being anti-government?
Objection form, instruct my client not to answer. Violation of court document number 48, and has nothing to do with a 16-page PowerPoint presentation unless counsel could reference the section. Instruct my client not to answer.
And my other questions would obviously go into the entire 160-page document that was provided to defendant's expert, your expert, and not timely provided to me. And so I would ask questions about each exhibit of this document. But I understand that you're not going to take the time to answer that today, correct?
I'm objecting to any questions that's not related to the 16-page PowerPoint presentation as the court instructed in its document order 48.
All right, and then let me go back to Exhibit 1. Chief, how many times have you modified Exhibit 1?
Objection, clarification, modify Exhibit 1 prior to March 27th, 2018.
I don't even know what an objection is, but what did you say the objection was?
Objection, as long as it abides by the court order of anything on or before March 27th, 2018. Just to clarify the question.
It's my question. Chief Valenciano, how many times did you modify the PowerPoint at Exhibit number 1?
I'm instructing my client not to answer any revisions or additions that were made after March 27th, 2018. You go ahead and answer.
I don't even, here's the problem. You're instructing him how to answer. So you're either instructing him not to answer or you're noting your objection and you're going to permit him to answer. You're not going to instruct him how to answer my question. So which is it?
I'm instructing him not to answer your question that goes beyond March 27th, 2018.
So again, it's either, all right, I'm going to ask my question again, and you either instruct him not to answer or to answer. You're not going to instruct him to partially answer. That's not how this works, and you know it. My question is, Chief Valenciano, the PowerPoint at Exhibit number 1, how many times have you modified or revise the document at Exhibit 1?
Objection, form, request, instruct my client not to answer.
All right, thank you. How many times have you presented the PowerPoint at Exhibit number 1?
Objection, form. Pursuant to the court order before March 27th, 2018, he can answer it in that respect.
Again, stop instructing him how to answer. That's not how this works. I'm going to ask my question, I'm noting it for the record, and then you can either object, instruct him not to answer, which will of course challenge, or you can note your objection and then permit him to answer, but you're not going to instruct him how to answer. So again, Chief Valenciano, just to make clear, the PowerPoint at Exhibit number 1, how many times have you presented Exhibit number 1?
Objection, form, instruct my client not to answer.
Okay. Who have you presented Exhibit number 1 to?
Objection, form, and question's been asked and answered. Instruct my client not to answer pursuant to court order document 48.
Okay. And now I'm going to mark it as Exhibit 5 an email that we've previously filed at 44-2. All right, Chief, I'm going to ask you to go to page 2 of Exhibit 5. Or I'm sorry, page 3. Do you see that? It's got your signature block on it. Chief.
Okay, I'm there.
I'm trying to enlarge this. How can I enlarge it to see? I have a hard time reading it.
Above the exhibit, there's a zoom button, a plus and a minus sign.
Okay, let's see. Let me get this down. Okay, let me, I lost the exhibit, hold on. Okay, I see it. Okay, there's a zoom, I see it. Okay.
All right, Chief, you see page 3 of Exhibit 5?
Yes. Yes.
Is that your signature block on that page?
Yes.
Objection. Let me. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, and when I go to page 2, it looks like you were sending an email to a Lizzie Velasquez.
Objection form.
Do you see that, Chief?
Objection form. Hold on, I'm trying to look at the attachments here. Chief, you go ahead and answer. I'm just going to object to the form of the question and the exhibit. Go ahead and answer.
I don't see that document in the PowerPoint.
No, Chief, this is not in the PowerPoint, but I'm objecting to it. But go ahead and answer.
Can you repeat the question and clarify, please?
Sure. Question or page 2.
Yes.
On the bottom of page 2, it looks like you're sending an email to somebody on March 5th, 2018. Do you see that?
Yes.
Who are you sending an email to?
You're asking me to read what's on the page?
Yeah, who did you send the email to? On the bottom of page 2.
The name says Lizzie.
Lizzie Velasquez?
Yes.
Who is that?
She's the law enforcement representative for ACOG.
Okay, in the subject line, what does the subject line say?
Olmos Park PD presentation.
Okay, and then do you recall sending this email to Lizzie?
I'm going to object to the form, but just so I won't, I'll just tap on the button. That way I won't interrupt Mr. Brandon.
I mean, at this point, you've been talking more than Chief Valenciano. You sure you don't want to just keep going?
Well, no, I just got to look at the exhibits I don't have in front of me.
All right, and it's for reference, it's docket 44-2. All right, and I think you can even download it as well from this platform. But so, Chief, you sent March 5th, 2018. It looks like to Lizzie Velasquez, an Olmos Park PD presentation 1.pptx. Do you see that?
I do. And I'm sorry to do this, but I need a bathroom break.
Okay, we'll take a break.
All right.
Okay. We are off the record at 10:49 a.m.